Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Deck, and if you enjoy talking about movies in any way, shape or form, you're going to feel right at home here. In today's video, I'm bringing back the haul series. It's been a long time since I've done one of these proper monthly hauls. Of course, I did the Christmas one a while back, but this is the first proper monthly one that I have done in quite a long time. So this is my haul for the month of February. Now, what I will say is that this video isn't just February items. There are a couple of January ones in here as well, just because there's some cool stuff that I want to show you guys. But this is just a variety of different things, different Blu-Rays and Funko Pops that I've picked up that I wanted to show you guys in this whole video. And as you can see, I also have a bit of a different set now. I've changed things up a bit while I am in the same location. You can just see a variety of new different Funko Pops. If you watched my last haul video, you might be able to recognize some of these. There are a couple of new ones in there, like Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith. We also have Jason Blum there. That's a pretty new one as well. So just a cool set, you know, I wanted to refresh things a little bit and make it a bit more movie focused for this channel. So anyway, with all that out of the way, let's jump into the haul. And as always, this video is going to be no edits, no cuts, just a bit more relaxed and a bit more, you know, just laid back talking to you guys. So I'm going to start off with the Funko Pops. Firstly, I received this one as a gift, and this is one I've been going back and forth with for a while. Just because I've always really wanted it, but for some reason I just would never pick it up for myself. But receiving it as a gift was really nice. I got Spider-Gwen from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This is a movie I really enjoy, and I really like Spider-Gwen in this movie. I really like the portrayal. Of course, she's voiced by Hailee Steinfeld, one of my favourite actresses. I adore her. And there isn't actually a pop of Hailee Steinfeld outside of Spider-Gwen, which I know technically this isn't Hailee Steinfeld, but you know what I'm saying. This is a character that she plays. There isn't actually any other Hailee Steinfeld pop, so I actually have a Hailee pop now, which I'm very happy with. And this is also just further building up my Spider-Man collection for Into the Spider-Verse, because I also have Miles Morales and I have Spider-Man as well. I kind of just want to get Spider-Man Noir and maybe the Green Goblin. Also, Prowler is pretty cool as well. To be honest, the whole line's pretty cool. I really like the Spider-Verse line, so to get even more of them is always a nice thing, and I love Spider-Gwen, so very happy to now own this pop. The next one we have here is the Marvel 80th Anniversary Edition of Deadpool. Now, I saw this in the store, and I had to pick it up just because it looked really cool. I've never actually seen it in person before, but this is a really cool pop of Deadpool. And I don't actually own a Deadpool pop. I haven't owned a Deadpool before, so I thought, well, it's about time I got him. And you can't really do better than this. And also, I really like the 80th Anniversary Edition boxes. They did this for the X-Men line. Of course, technically, Deadpool is a member of the X-Men, I guess. And you can also see, like, on the back there, it has their first appearance, which was in a New Mutants comic. So a really cool Deadpool pop. Again, I didn't own one, so I needed one. And for me, this is actually my favourite Deadpool pop I've ever seen. Like I say, I saw it and I had to get it, because while I've been waiting around for a Deadpool pop, I've not seen one as cool as this. So I was really happy with this. It's a bit generic and it is a bit cool, but I just thought it looked awesome in the store, so I had to pick it up. So I now have Deadpool in the collection. And these next two are from the same line. But these were pops that when I heard they were making them, I was so excited. These are like some of my ultimate guilty pleasure movies. We have the Lady Liberty pop from the Purge election year. Now, if you guys know me, you'll know I love the Purge movies. I really love them. I have a great time with them. And when I heard they were making pops of the Purge, I was like, that just makes so much sense, because there's such cool character designs. And Lady Liberty is a really cool one from election year, which is a movie I really like. And yeah, I really like this pop. It's really cool looking. It just, you know, I think the Purge character designs lend themselves to pops so well, and I think this really comes out really well. There are a couple of other ones as well, as you can see. I wasn't too bothered about Freak Bride or the Bear, but Freak Bride's pretty cool, and I do have this one as well, which we'll get to, but really happy they made pops of these. I'm a huge Blumhouse fan. I just love everything Blumhouse does. That's why I own the Jason Blum pop, because that needed to be owned, but really happy we got a Purge line. I hope we get more of them. I'd love to see some released from the first Purge, and also maybe from the Purge 5 that's coming out this year. I just love the fact that they actually made pops of these, because they're super cool. And I just mentioned him, but here he is. We have the Waving God from the Purge Anarchy, which is of course the second film. Again, really cool, really distinct. Like this, I remember this character so specifically, just because he was all over the marketing for the Purge Anarchy. And yeah, again, really cool to have a pop of him. Love it. And I really do want to get the whole line, but unfortunately, I'm just not... The Betsy Ross and the Big Pig one, I'm just not too arsed about. I may get the Freak Bride, though, because Freak Bride from election year is pretty cool. But especially these two. These were the two I specifically wanted. I'm really happy I own them. So that's everything for Funko Pops, and now I'm going to move over to this stack of Blu-Rays I've got right here. So let's just go through these one by one. So I'm going to start off with these. I actually went through a bit of like a foreign film binge recently. Ignore my phone there. I went through a bit of a foreign film binge recently, so I picked up some a lot of foreign movies here. First of all, we have Train to Busan. This is a movie that I've been waiting to watch for a long time, and I just think that this is a film I really needed to own and really needed to check out. While I've not seen it yet, I'm very excited to. It just seems like a really fun action film, and I think that Korean cinema is really good. Like, from what I've seen of Korean cinema, I really enjoy it, and I think that this film could be one of my favorites. So I'm really excited to check this out. I'm a huge fan of the zombie genre, so this is kind of like, you know, the Korean take on the zombie genre, so I'm very excited to see how that turns out. We also have Raw, which I believe is a French film. This is an insane movie. I'm surprised I haven't owned this already, but I really enjoyed this film. Kind of horror, but really cool as well. Just a really interesting story, a really interesting concept, and kind of freaky and kind of scary at times. So I really enjoy this movie, and I'm happy that I now own it, because it took me a while to actually get around to it. And then we have The Villainess. Now, this is obviously an Arrow video. This is kind of like, if you don't know what this movie is kind of like John Wick and The Raid, but but with a female protagonist. And this is just a really awesome action film. Really violent, really fun, and a really good story to boot. And I really had a great time with this. I watched this for the first time very recently, and as soon as I watched it, I ordered the Blu-ray because I needed to own it. Really cool. And again, obviously, it's an Arrow video release, so it's really nice. Could have done with a slipcover, but you can't always win. But I really enjoyed this, and I really had a great time with it, so I had to have it in the collection. And then, that's also a Korean movie, by the way. And then we also have Shoplifters. This is a Japanese film. This was basically the second place winner to Roma at the Oscars a couple of years ago. And I always remember wanting to check it out back then, but I never got around to it. So I finally picked up the Blu-ray so I could check it out. Again, I've not had the chance to quite yet, but it's just a really cool looking movie that seems to have a really great story, and I can't wait to check it out. Like I said, it came second place to Roma, so it must be pretty good. So I'm really excited to check that one out as well. We also have a very, very recent release. We have Pain and Glory. This is, of course, a Spanish movie. This was obviously in the Oscar discussion, and I was meant to check this out before the Oscars and before the BAFTAs, but I just never got around to it. Even though I did actually own it, I picked it up. I didn't actually get around to watching it, but I've only heard amazing things, and it's kind of annoying because I actually missed out on seeing this in the cinema. I could have seen this in the cinema, but I didn't. I just missed out on it. I think I was busy the day. But I'm really excited to check this out. I think this is a movie I'll really enjoy. It just looks to be a very peaceful, very tranquil story that I think I could really sink my teeth into. And I've heard that this is just one of the best roles really for Antonio Banderas, and my eye is freaking out. I do apologise. So I'm really excited to check this out, and I think that this could be a really, really good watch for me. Very relaxing watch, which I really like relaxing movies. Oh, Jesus. Pile nearly fell. And then we have Old Boy, another Arrow video release. This is, again, a very nice release as well. This is a film that is just absolutely crazy. I've not seen it fully. I've seen a lot of it, but I've never seen it fully. This is, of course, directed by Park Chan-wook. I think that this could be a really interesting watch for me if I really like it. I think there is a chance I may not fully like this movie. Like I say, I've seen a lot of it, and from what I have seen, I really like, and it's really interesting. I think it takes a really good stance on kind of like what can happen to a person trapped in, you know, in confinement for an incredibly long time. But it just is a really interesting movie. It's obviously incredibly well known, and I think that this is a film that, you know, among film fans, you need to check this movie out at some point in your life. So I thought it was about time I picked it up, and this is a really nice release from Arrow Video. Really nice. Again, it comes with a slipcover this time. And yeah, it comes with a nice reversible cover as well. So a really, really nice release there. And I'm very excited to check that out fully. Like I say, I've seen quite a lot of it, but I've just not seen it fully all the way through. So I'm very excited to check that out. Anyway, oh hang on, I've got a couple other foreign movies here. I'll just swip those around. So I'll do those now. Here we go. So we have, also from Park Chan-wook, we have The Handmaiden. Now, I have actually seen this movie. I watched it fairly recently, like within the last year, and it's actually my best friend. It's actually maybe her favorite movie of all time, at least in her top 3 for sure. And this was a movie I didn't quite connect with on the first viewing. It was a film that I watched at kind of the wrong time. I was kind of tired, and I didn't really sink into the movie, and I kind of got lost in it at times. And I think it's just because I wasn't in the right frame of mind when watching it. So I wanted to pick it up, and I wanted to give it another chance, because I've heard so many amazing things about it. And like I say, I recognize it's a good movie. I watched it, and I came away from it thinking, yeah, that was a good movie. I just didn't connect with it in the way that I wanted to. And I think it's just because I was very tired when watching the movie. So I wanted to buy it and pick it up so I could check it out again. So I will get around to rewatching this at some point, and hopefully I'll come away with it. I'll come away from it with a much better view on it. Because like I say, I really wanted to enjoy this movie, and I really wanted to love it. I just don't think I connected with it because I was so tired when watching it. So I thought it was about time I gave it a second chance. And the other movie, I actually got a review from this at the channel, so if you want to go check that out, you can. We have The Farewell, directed by Lulu Wang, starring Awkwafina. This is a beautiful movie that I really, really loved. I think that this film just has such a great story at the heart of it. It's obviously very personal to Lulu Wang as the director. She's very much inspired this story. This came from Sundance, and I remember hearing about it at Sundance and just really keeping an eye on it. And then when I actually got the chance to see it in the cinema, I was really blown away by it. It's just a really great movie, really great story. It's funny, it's sad, it's heartbreaking, it's awkward. And I just think that this film has so many great performances within it as well. I just really adore this movie. It's really good, and I'm so happy I own it on Blu-ray. And now, moving away from foreign cinema, we actually go into more English movies. We have Little Monsters. Now this, if you saw my top 10 of the year, was actually my number 8. I was absolutely floored by this movie. I just think this movie is so much fun. Like I said when I was talking about Train to Busan, I'm a big fan of the zombie genre, and this is a really great take on it. This is an Australian film, and it's just the comedy that comes from within that absolutely hits me hard. Like Aussie humor really works for me. It's very much my kind of humor, so that's what this movie is full of. You have a great lead performance from Lupita Nyong'o. Also, Alexander England is really good in this as well. Josh Gad delivers an absolutely crazy performance. And when I heard this was actually getting a Blu-ray, because I didn't think it was going to in the UK, but when I heard it was, I knew I had to pick it up, because again, it was in my top 10 of the year. I really enjoyed this. It was a really late edition for my top 10, but it came in and really impressed me, so I had to add that to the collection, because it's truly fantastic. If you've not seen Little Monsters, do yourself a favour and check it out. It's so good. Next up, we have the 4K Ultra HD of Interstellar. I've actually not seen this, believe it or not. I'm going to basically go through and do a big Nolan rewatch in the build up to Tenet. Tenet is my second most anticipated movie of the year. I'm a big Nolan fan, but Interstellar is like my main blind spot when it comes to Nolan. It's the one movie I've just not happened to see. But I'm really excited to check it out, and I'm sure on 4K this movie will look stunning. I've heard amazing things about this. Although I've heard some people say it's not its best movie, people generally say it's still a pretty damn good movie, so I'm excited to check it out, and I'm sure on 4K it will look stunning. So I'm really excited to check this out, and I'm really excited to actually get around to rewatching all of Nolan's filmography in the build-up to Tenet. I probably will do reviews on them. I'll probably do like a review series for Nolan where I'll review all of his movies in the build-up. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comment section down below. And continuing with that theme, we have the 4K Ultra HD of Inception. Now, I did see Inception around, I think it was in November, I saw Inception. And wow, I was blown away by this movie. This movie is so much fun. Great cast, great story, great idea. And I think if you're looking for a Nolan movie to kind of compare to Tenet, I think Inception is going to be the closest representation you can get. Just because I think Tenet is kind of Nolan's return to blockbuster filmmaking that's not a part of a big franchise like, say, Batman. I think that Inception is going to be the closest comparison. This movie just has such a good idea, such a good concept, and it's executed in a way that feels really intelligent and really well written. And I think that Nolan just absolutely knocked it out of the park with this movie. And again, the cast is just non-stop in this as well. Leonardo DiCaprio, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, Marion Cotillard. Just an amazing cast, and I was so impressed with this movie. I mean, it's a movie I wanted to watch for years, and I finally got around to it and had a blast with it, so I had to pick it up on Blu-ray, and I'm sure the 4K will look great. And next up, we have the 4K Ultra HD of Joker. I actually watched this in the cinema again the other day at the IMAX Film Festival. Joker is still a movie. I think it's very good. I really enjoy it. While I definitely feel like it does have some pacing issues, I think that the writing isn't particularly very strong at times. I still think the film is able to deliver an entertaining experience. Like, I find the movie actually weirdly relaxing to watch. I don't know why. I just find it, like, I've seen it 3 times now, and every time I watch it, I find it just very therapeutic. I don't know why. Even though it does get more stressful as the movie goes on and the end scene is quite dramatic, for the most part I find this movie very relaxing. And of course you have an amazing lead performance from Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck. Robert De Niro also delivering a great supporting performance. I just really do enjoy Joker, and I feel like when it was coming out I knew I had to own it. Of course this was the Best Picture nominee. It won a couple Oscars, and I really enjoy it, so I had to own the movie. And again, I'm a big superhero fan. I'm a big DC fan. I was very impressed with Joker when it came out. And next, we have the final 4K Ultra HD. We have It Chapter 2. I really enjoyed this film. While I feel like it is definitely a downgrade from the first film, I don't think it quite reaches the heights that movie did. I think this movie is a really good conclusion, though, to the two-part series. I really like it. I think that the way it brings in the adult cast and the way it still brings back the young cast and kind of brings them in together was really organically done. And I really like, obviously, Bill Skarsgård is always incredibly entertaining as Pennywise. I just think the story's really good in this. I like the character drama. I like the way that they all kind of interact with each other. Like that scene at the very beginning of the movie where they're all at the dinner table is one of the best scenes in the movie. Maybe the best scene. And I think each character is so well cast. I mean, James Ransone as the adult Eddie is the most perfect casting I think I've seen in a long time. Like, if you actually see this Pennywise pop here, which you would have seen in the haul video, this actually, I don't know if you can really see it, but it actually has got James Ransone's signature on there because I met him at Comic-Con a couple of months back. Because I was very impressed with him in this movie and I wanted to meet him. But yeah, really cool. And I had to own this movie. I owned the first one on 4K. I needed the second one. Again, I think it's a really good companion piece. I think if you watch them together, like when I watched this in the cinema, I did the double bill of Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, and they just go really well together. So, really fun movie. I had to pick it up. I had a great time with it. Like I say, it is a downgrade, but it's still a fun movie nonetheless. And then this next movie, we have Fisherman's Friends. This is a film that it's not going to be for everybody. It's a typical kind of British feel-good movie. And to be honest, going into this, I thought I was going to hate it. But I came out of it really liking it. And it took me a while to pick it up on Blu-ray, but I knew I had to at some point just because I do want to watch it again. And it is a very feel-good movie. You do walk away from it feeling good, and I enjoyed it. Like I say, I didn't expect to like it. I thought this is going to be cringy, it's going to be annoying, it's going to be weird. But while it is those things, I still actually managed to find a fair amount of enjoyment within it. And I actually came away from it actually having a great time with it. I really like it. The cast is really good. Like, this movie has James Purefoy in it, who I really like, and Daniel Mays, who's really been coming up in the ranks recently. It's actually got a pretty good cast. And I just think it's a really nice movie that you can get back and relax with. And if you want just, you know, a really good, feel-good movie, you can't go wrong with it. And we have The Dead Don't Die, this movie. I kind of wanted to put this on my top 10 last year. I really like this movie. I know I'm in the minority there, but I really enjoyed this. I think it's just because the humor of this movie really lends itself to me. Like, I'm a really big fan of like just dry, awkward humor, and that's kind of what this movie is. Also, the cast is just brilliant at playing it. Like, Adam Driver in this movie is just phenomenal. Like, he can play dry humor and idiot characters really well, and he kind of has the blend of two in this. Like, if you've ever seen Logan Lucky with Adam Driver, he just plays an absolute idiot in that, and it's kind of the same in this movie. And Bill Murray with the dry humor, brilliant. Tilda Swinton steals the show in this movie. She just comes in. Her character is just one of my favorite characters of last year. And I'm a big fan of Jim Jarmusch. I think he's really good. Like, some of you may know, one of my favorite movies of all time is Patterson. I really love that movie. And, you know, this was his first film after Patterson. And I really love this film. Like, I really enjoyed it. I don't know how many times I could rewatch it and things like that. Just, you know, when all the twists and turns are revealed and stuff like that. But, I don't know, like, I remember going into this kind of worried about it. And I came out of it just absolutely loving it. So, I'm excited to own this. I'm excited that I have it in the collection because, like I say, I think it's really fun, and I think it's hilarious, but that's just me. And the final one, we actually have a really nice steelbook here. I came across this in CEX, and I just had to pick it up, because I really like this movie a lot. And when I saw the steelbook, I was just like, yep, that's being bought. A nice steelbook of Collateral. I really love Collateral. This movie is just so much fun. A great action film. Of course, you've got Jamie Foxx in the lead, who's a great actual performance in this. I mean, Jamie Foxx can be a bit of a hit and miss actor for me. There are some roles that I think he's fantastic in, and there are others that I think he's a bit weak in. Like, you know, I think he's really great in this movie. He's great in Ray. He's great in the recent Just Mercy. But then you can also look at him in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and be like, eh. But in this movie, really good. He sells like the really scared, really petrified kind of character really well. And this is actually one of my favorite, maybe my favorite role from Tom Cruise, because he actually plays a villain in this. He's actually the villain of this. His hair, his look, the suits, he just looks fantastic in this movie. And the action's great, the intensity's fantastic, the score's great, it's shot well. I just really like Collateral. I really appreciate this movie, and I think that the steelbook, it's just beautiful. Look at that. It's just beautiful. I'm really a big fan of steelbooks if they look really nice. I did go through a period of just buying steelbooks where they weren't really necessary, and I got some real stinkers. But nowadays I'm a lot more focused on, if I see a really nice steelbook, it has to be really nice. And I saw this one and I had to get it. It's so nice, and it's a real standout in my collection. I really like this. Again, I just love this movie, so I had to pick it up. And yeah, it's just a really nice set. And you can also see some inside art as well. Let's just get the disc out there. Got some really nice art there. Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx there. Just really nice release. I don't know where this comes from or who made it, but like I say, because I got it from a second-hand store. But I'm so glad I found it. So anyway, guys, that is my haul for the month of February with a little bit of January. What did you guys pick up in the month of February? Make sure you let me know what you got in the comment section down below. And what did you like from my collection? Let's have a talk about it in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, if you want to see more movie reviews and movie-related videos just like this one, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload from me. And I hope to see you guys again next time.